start the day. What's up guys, hope you like that coffee b-roll. The latte art wasn't all that good, but the coffee tasted like it was made in heaven. Today we're gonna talk about hyperlapses. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have probably noticed that lately I've been uploading a lot of hyperlapses, and that's kind of my new thing, my new toy, my new skill. I've tried to learn them and do them before, but for some reason I didn't manage to, and I kept trying them out from time to time, and then recently I managed to make them work, and I'll share my tips and the things that didn't allow me to make hyperlapses in the beginning. Apart from teaching you the way I've been doing them until now, today I would also like to take on a challenge and try to do a hyperlapse on my smartphone. Because I know that not everyone has a camera, a professional camera, and if we manage to make it work on a smartphone, then it's basically accessible to everyone who is into these kind of things. Without losing any time, let's get out and start shooting. Isn't that a perfect place to start taking a hyperlapse? Now I will do 3 hyperlapses here. I will start around there and go all the way close to the building. The first one is gonna be on my phone, the second one is gonna be on the GoPro, and the third one, and which should also be the best, is on my main camera. The way the hyperlapse works on the phone is similar to that on the camera, and it is that you gotta have these guidelines, which you should be able to turn on both on Android and on Apple phones. Look for grid or rule of thirds as keywords. Once you have them on, point the camera to the subject, compose the photo, and then look to find one easy to follow spot on your subject. In my case, a window, and then align that spot or that window with one of the points where the grid lines intersect. This will be your reference point. Now take the first photo and then move a bit towards the subject. I'm quite far from the palace here, so I will move 2 steps at a time. It's not a bad idea to count how many steps long your path is before you start shooting the hyperlapse. That way you can calculate how many steps should be between your photos in order to achieve a hyperlapse of a certain length. Note that 24 or 30 photos make 1 second of a video. Very important is also that the time between your photos is roughly the same, especially if you have a cloudy sky, because a sudden big pause between 2 of your photos will be shown as a jump on the clouds, which will have moved a lot more during this time than during the time between your other photos. I know it sounds tiring, and it can be indeed, but what's worse is actually to get it done and have it not work in the end, as it did to me the first times I tried. Some mistakes I made were, for example, I used a grid with many lines, and at some point during the hyperlapse I forgot which point I was aligning to the subject, which then made a jump halfway through my hyperlapse, which in the end made it unusable. A similar thing happened when I was shooting a building with many identical windows. I just confused 2 windows with each other, which also created a jump halfway through the hyperlapse. One more mistake is to only focus on aligning the spot of your subject to the point in the grid and forgetting to keep the horizon at level. Lastly, I've seen some photographers use the viewfinders to shoot hyperlapses. If your camera has a tilt screen, I recommend using that, because after some shots your arms will hurt from keeping the camera lifted at face level, and that will force you to make a pause, which will ruin your hyperlapse before it's even done. So now that you did all the labor, you found the subject, you pointed the camera at it, you aligned 1 point of the grid to 1 point of the subject, you took the first photo, you got closer, you aligned it again, you took the second photo, the third photo, the 100th photo, the 200th photo. How do you go from a list of 200 photos to something that looks like this? For that we would have to use Premiere Pro. I'll show you how it's done. After you've opened a new project, click to import the media and then go to the folder where your photos are located. You're going to click on the first photo and then check this image sequence square. What that's going to do is convert all of these photos into a clip and upload it on Premiere Pro. The clip starts at the photo that you clicked and continues until the end of the folder, or until it detects that the pattern on the photo's names is interrupted. Click open. And now you can see here the clip that was just uploaded. As you can see, it's not really smooth, but we're going to take it to our sequence anyways. And now, in order to make it smooth, we're going to use warp stabilizer. So go ahead and search for it on effects. Click and drag it onto the clip. After the warp stabilizer is done doing its magic, you should have a really smooth video a really smooth hyperlapse. If you don't, then you probably need to practice some more and get all the shots aligned better, because the warp stabilizer is a tool and it's not perfect, so it can't fix all your mistakes. But if you get it close enough by hand, then it can do the rest, and it can do it really well. For those of you who don't have Premiere, I tried some online software but didn't really get good results from them. So I don't have, unfortunately, a solution for you now. The only thing would be to manually adjust all the frames and make them fit perfectly one after the other, but that seems like too much work in my opinion. Another thing to mention, now that you know this skill, you have kind of a superpower, because you can really show the reality in a different way and take your time and think about it. You can be creative with it. You don't have to just go straight to a subject like I did on this case. You can also move horizontal to it, or just make some kind of zigzag things. Then you might get more interesting results. So that's it. That's all the magic behind it. I hope I could help you. I hope I could inspire you to go out there and shoot your own hyperlapses. Can't wait to see them. If you like this video and if you found it helpful, give a like to the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next ones. Peace. You're still there, aren't you? I forgot to show you how the challenge went. So there you go. This one was taken on my phone. I was surprised, it was almost perfect. I know that it's a bit more difficult to hold the phone steady than it is on camera, because the grip on the camera is better. And now this is on the GoPro. Note that on the GoPro you don't need to do all of this walk a step and then take a photo, walk a step and take a photo. You just hold it towards the subject and then you walk towards it constantly at normal speed. And it has a built-in hyperlapse mode, so it just gives you the finished video in the end. You don't need to go through the Premiere Pro as well. But also the result is not as good as doing it the way I told you right now. Anyways, let me know what you think about it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Will you try it yourself? Bye bye.